वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुदीय तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Warm welcome everyone in the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 12 is what we'll be beginning from today. And yesterday when we closed chapter 11, we discussed, we raised this question, say a survey question, and we'll try to discuss that question today a bit. And we can take that question over and over again and see. Uh, I personally found the question very, very relevant, very contemporary, uh, and not just now, even 20 years back, 20 years later as well, we can find it fitting. And it helps me understand Krishna consciousness. So the question is, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? If any one of you have heard this question before, then kindly say. May not share the answer as such, but if at all you have come across this question before, uh, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? So this was a survey conducted, say, by the United Nations uh, or the World Health Organization. Mm. What is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? They wanted to do this survey to check the pulse, to get an understanding, to get the feedback and all, and to then do some research and all, and how can they make policies, what changes, corrections can be made, what improvements, what is better, what is good, what should be continued and what should be discarded, and furthermore. So, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? Is the survey. And now I like a bit of a creating of a hype, and I will leave this question here, but I will try to discuss hopefully today, if not today, then another day very soon, kind of the details of the survey. But for now, let us go chapter 12, text 1 onwards. Let us start reading. And so I will share screen, and Shilpa, if you can read just translation, and Harsha and Lucy can share reading the purport paragraph by paragraph. So chapter 12, fascinating name, uh, uh, devotional service. Text 1, Arjun Uvacha, Evam satat yukta te bhaktastvam swa bhaktastvam paryupasate cheya ye chapi aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittama. Shilpa ji, read translation.
Arjun inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
Okay,
Purport.
Harsha. Okay, Shilpa ji, read one paragraph of purport, then next Harsha can read, then the next Lucy can read. Huh?
Krishna has now explained about the personal, the impersonal, and the universal service
I think we are not able to hear you, Shilpaji.
In the service of the Supreme Lord, the impersonalist also engaged in himself and directly in the service of Krishna. But इसको अब करना पड़ेगा. But in meditation on the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested, we find in this
Harsha, read
chapter
next
that the
paragraph.
different purposes.
Harsha, read.
Yeah, okay. We find in this chapter that of the different processes for realization of the absolute truth, Bhakti Yoga, devotional service is the highest. If one at all desires to have the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he must take to devotional service.
Those who worship the Supreme Lord directly by devotional service are called personalists. Those who engage themselves in meditation on the impersonal Brahman are called impersonalists. Arjuna is here questioning which position is better. There are different ways to realize the absolute truth, but Krishna indicates in this chapter that Bhakti Yoga or devotional service to him is the highest of all. It is the most direct and it is the easiest means for association with the Godhead.
Shilpaji, पढ़िए.
In second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord explained that a living entity is not the material body. He is a spiritual spark, and the absolute truth is the spiritual whole. In the seventh chapter, he spoke of living entirely as being part of and parcel of the Supreme Whole, recommended that he transfer his attention fully to the whole. Then again in the English chapter, he was said that anyone who thinks of Krishna at the time of इसको scroll करें थोड़ा सा. At the time of quitting his body is at once transferred to the spiritual sky, to the abode of Krishna. And at the end of the sixth chapter of the Lord clearly said that all the yogis, one who always thinks the Krishna within himself is considered the most perfect. So in the uh, particularly every chapter, the conclusion has been that one should be attached to the personal form of Krishna for his the highest spiritual realization.
Nevertheless,
Right.
Nevertheless, there are those who are not attached to the personal form of Krishna. They are so firmly detached that even in the preparation of commentaries to Bhagavad Gita, they want to distract other people from Krishna and transfer all devotion to the impersonal Brahma Jyotir. They prefer to meditate on the impersonal form of the Absolute Truth, which is beyond the reach of the senses and is not manifest.
And so factually, there are two classes of transcendentalists. Now Arjuna is trying to settle the question of which process is easier and which of the classes is most perfect. In other words, He is clarifying his own position because he is attached to the personal form of Krishna. He is not attached to the impersonal Brahman. He wants to know whether his position is secure. The impersonal manifestation, either in his material world or in the spiritual world of the Supreme Lord, is a problem for meditation. Actually, one cannot perfectly conceive of the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. Therefore, Arjuna wants to say, what is the use of such a waste of time? Arjuna experienced in the 11th chapter that to be attached to the personal form of Krishna is best because he could thus understand all of the forms at the same time, and there was no disturbance for his love for Krishna. This important question asked of Krishna by Arjuna will clarify the distinction between the impersonal and personal conceptions of the absolute truth. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
So, Krishna showed in the previous chapter the universal form to Arjuna, not only to Arjuna, to others as well, present. And thereupon, Arjuna is asking Krishna, which is the better form of worship? Which is more perfect, say, which is more better, which is the better form of worship? Those who are properly engaged in your devotional service, as in those who take you to be a person and love and serve you in that capacity, in that understanding, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman. Brahman means spirit. Brahman means energy. And impersonal Brahman means, okay, it is a spiritual energy, but it has got no variegatedness. What does variegatedness mean? Lucy, Harsha, Shilpa. Variegatedness as in variety. So, which is better? Personal devotional service, loving and serving Krishna as a person, or impersonal meditation? Which one is better? That is what Arjuna is asking. Impersonal meditation on the Brahman effulgence, as in on the spiritual energy, the spiritual spark, spiritual light, spiritual ray, on that. And further, we'll see in this chapter what Krishna reveals and what Krishna says. And generally, in this world, yeah, there are these two classes of transcendentalists or transcendentalists, spiritualists, transcendentalists. They could be divided into two classes, right? The impersonalist and the personalist. So, personalist is a who considers God to be actually a person, a spiritual person, and engages himself in the service of God in all capacity, whatever capacity, in the service of God. And God is singular. Also, God is not like a plural. And even though like plural, God is not. Um, uh, Whenever we again say Krishna, it is never Krishna alone. It's Radha and Krishna, as we see from Chaitanya Charitamrita and elsewhere also. Radha Krishna एक आत्मा दुई देह धरी, है ना? राधा कृष्ण वन सोल, एक आत्मा दुई देह धरी, अन्य अन्य रस अन्य अन्य विलसने रसास्वादन करी, परस्पर परस्पर they give highest relishment to each other. So it is God Himself expanding, say, into. They're inseparable, Radha and Krishna. They're inseparable. Uh, and there are no. So God is singular, and yet, yes, God being all capable. Na? So God expands Himself, and in one ways of like God's first, Krishna's first expansion is Lord Balram. And then from Lord Balram, there's Chaturvyu expansion, then furthermore Chaturvyu expansion, and furthermore the universe creation happens and things come about. But thing is, personalist, they believe in the personal form of God. So God having an identity, a personal form, name, form, address, life, lifestyle, friends, likes, dislikes. And based on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we understand Krishna's to Bhagwan Swayam, Krishna being the supreme personality of Godhead. Yeah. Personality, see how beautiful Prabhupada tells us, right? Supreme personality of Godhead. Hmm? So, Godhead, there are many Godheads. Like we are also little Krishnas in a way. Yes, we are, because we are part and parcels of Krishna. Uh, we are also Bhagwan, like in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see Sukdev Goswami referring like Narad Bhagwan, and sometimes Sukdev Goswami referred to as Bhagwan or Indra Bhagwan. Yeah, one who possesses opulences is referred to as Bhagwan. One is the possessor of opulences. But all those opulences stem from Krishna, and Krishna possesses them in fullness. He is independent. Whatever opulences we carry, we possess, is out not just out of our own merit. It is not just like based on my own personal merit. No, it is all backed up by Krishna. It is all given by Krishna, sanctioned by Krishna. Uh, so this is why we are kind of in a way personality of Godhead, but definitely not supreme. And Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So there are many godheads, yes, in that sense, demigods, no, who are looking after the cosmic affairs. There is a hierarchy, there is a ranking amongst demigods, and then us humans as well, uh, and we all are godheads in some capacity, in some form or shape, because we belong to Krishna, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. But we are not supreme. For us to be supreme, one has to be independent. And Krishna is completely independent. So Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is what personalist, and then impersonalist, who do not believe in the existence of God as a personal being. Who do not believe in the existence of God as a personal being. Now, if God has no personal being, ultimately, they consider that okay, God is ultimately a light, a ray, a jyoti, an effulgence, Brahma Jyoti, and that resting abode. All these adjectives, all these qualitative adjectives. Oh, God is unlimited. God is all powerful. God is all pervading. God is that resting abode. And on those lines, furthermore, but who is he? No, don't know. Name? No, has no name. Form? No form. That's like God is universal or all pervading, and why do you restrict him, saying him to be having a name, saying him to be having a form? So impersonalist view is what, like the cabinet of ministers, government is what? Impersonal, right? We know where government sits 10 Downing Street, or Janpat, das Janpat, or there, where the government sits. But has anyone seen government? No. And government means what? Like the prime minister, the cabinet of ministers, headed by the prime minister. Huh? But the impersonalists, they take God to be impersonal, and from time to time, upon requirement, God can take a personal form and comes down, takes a personal form, and sorts the mess out, gives us some learning, some teachings, how to behave, how to act. At least God is not just that who just comes about to give us any learning and teaching of how to behave and how to act, and job done, and then he goes back in the spiritual sky. No, that's a very poor sort of or very confined or restricted or limited understanding. God is not just like a teacher who just comes down or saying there's lots of havoc going on and let me go and again give them message. Sure, but Krishna appeared, spoke Bhagavad Gita, and he lived as well, and their teachings and learnings and all. But that is not the all of it. That is not the all of it. And that's not the purpose of this human form of life as well. Uh, Education is required, but then education, everything, the culmination point has to be sought out. Where does this lead to me? Where is it leading to me? Where does this lead up to? So the culmination is where leading up to in loving relationship with Krishna. Complete surrender to Krishna in love. Love and service, pure, unconditional, unmotivated, loving relationship to Krishna. So the impersonalist view is God is ultimately also God being light. He, whenever required, he comes down, does the job, and then goes back up in his light form. uh, and he stays there. And when we get enlightened, completely liberated, then there is no separation. We also become God. We also go and rest in that resting abode, that light, that jyoti, that effulgence, and there is no separation. We become one with God. mm, and we realize our godness. And what do we do there? Just rest. And there is no pain there, there is no suffering there, and we just relish in there. But what actually, where is that place? Oh, no place, no name. What actually we do? We just relish. What can we describe? There's no variegatedness. Ah, there's no motion. There's no motion. Static, silent, deep peace, deep meditation. And effect of what, like when I find too much of trouble in this material world, too much of trouble, then I'm said I don't want joy, I don't want happiness. This is like big words and headache for me. I just want peace, so someone just give me peace. So I practice maybe spirituality and perfect my spirituality, attaining perfect peace. Means I do nothing for Krishna and Krishna exists no for me. I just settle down in that effulgence, in that ray, in that universal light, universal hope, and find my refuge altogether. In a sense, it is not bad because it is I'm distancing myself from matter and material tendencies, loading over material nature. I'm not lying, cheating, gambling, and whatever. Furthermore, I'm not living in gross bodily identity, but it is not so encouraging as well, because this human form of life, if I do not use it, finding my saturation at the lotus feet of the divine couple, and if I kind of pursue it in this spiritual emancipation, in this sort of emancipation, wherein ultimately what do I attend? Light. mm, Then loss. Bhagavatam we see, Bhagavatam 10 to 32, those who have not found their shelter in Krishna, but practice spirituality, say for that matter, the highest is like attainment of the Brahman effulgence. So staying in that quiet zone, in that light, in that, and being still, being calm. But for how long can one be still and calm and peaceful? Mm, For 300 trillion years, something like that, until until the next creation happens. Until then, calm and peaceful. But once the next creation cycle is again happening, once the next creation happens, everyone then comes back to life. There is again creation and variegatedness in this material world, and everyone then again takes a fresh start in a way. So until and unless I find my refuge at the lotus feet of the divine couple, loving and serving Radha and Krishna, there is no eternal liberation. So that is like impersonalist worship, wherein a sadhaka, a practitioner, worships the impersonal Brahman effulgence, as in the spiritual effulgence. Effulgence we understand, right? The aura, the light, the rays. So he worships that. Uh, and further down, we'll see Krishna himself says that I am the basis of that impersonal effulgence as well. Krishna himself is the basis. You see, the Brahman effulgence is nothing but the ray, the light emanating from Krishna's body. From our body as well, I mean, or at least if maybe just speak for myself, or if I can speak for others as well, perhaps, that generally speaking, most of our bodies, there is aura, there is energy, there is light, but it doesn't emanate, it doesn't shine, because I'm living in a very covered up consciousness, in a very gross materialistic consciousness I live. But those who are elevated souls, doesn't matter personalist or impersonalist, elevated souls, spiritually more enlightened souls, there we can see an aura and an energy, a spark coming out of that body. So this Brahman effulgence is what it is, the glow of Krishna's body. And there are many yogis who just find so much peace in that glow that they just want to settle down with that only, and they think that this is the highest attainment. So that is impersonal meditation, impersonal Brahman effulgence. And the process definitely works, because one is not engaged in matter sense gratification, so one will be finding peace, one is trying to come out of duality. So the process works, but the problem is it stucks, and if it stucks big time. Again, imagine someone in this day and age, if he perfects his impersonal meditation so much so that he attains that impersonal realm, huh? He attains that realm altogether. And what will happen? Okay, he becomes still, calm, light, peaceful, quiet. No one to talk to. He wouldn't speak with anyone. No one would speak, and he's as good as God. He just lies down there and does nothing. So it's like anesthesia, complete sleep, complete anesthesia. And that's also for how long? Until the next creation. Until the next creation takes place. So long time. From material perspective, long time, but from the scheme of eternity, a flash only. A flash only. But in that state and for that duration, at least he's not getting troubled. He's not getting troubled having to pay any bills or any duality or mundane material attachments. uh, and he's finding peace and harmony. But not saturation is not there, because soul by nature is active. Soul by nature wants a company. Soul by nature wants engagement. uh, we don't want to speak ill, but we want to speak na. uh, we don't want to see bad, but still we would like to see. We don't want to hear bad, but still we like to hear. Soul by nature is active, and it is seeking for reciprocation, loving reciprocation. But in Brahman impersonal meditation, there is no personal loving reciprocation. It's more of a imagination, hallucination, perhaps, of the mind. Surely there is peace. Uh, there is peace there, that no one is troubling you, but you are also no good, at least for Krishna. Definitely. So Arjuna is asking this, which one is better, the personalist or the impersonalist meditation? Mm. And broadly, now, why one finds one kind of attraction in impersonal meditation? The large scheme of finding attraction is out of frustration, in the sense there's struggle, hard struggle for existence in this material world. Mm. And okay, I practice spirituality, and I don't have to actually surrender to someone as such, and I can still be quite peaceful and everything and go on about it, and then attain liberation, wherein I am completely free. I am light, I am ray, I am hope. Furthermore, all this, but there is no concept of God, which means there is no love, there is no relationship, and there is no variegatedness then. uh, No variegatedness. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? So this is question Arjuna is putting in front of Krishna. Okay, let us read next and see what Krishna responds into this question and furthermore. So Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya mano ye mam nityayukta upasate shraddhaya paryopetas me yukta tamamata. Lucy, read translation and purport as well.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect." In answer to Arjuna's question, Krishna clearly says that he who concentrates upon his personal form and who worships him with faith and devotion is to be considered the most perfect in yoga. For one in such Krishna consciousness, there are no material activities because everything is done for Krishna. A pure devotee is constantly engaged. Sometimes he chants, sometimes he hears or reads books about Krishna, or sometimes he cooks prasadam or goes to the marketplace to purchase something for Krishna, or sometimes he washes the temple, the dishes. Whatever he does not let a single moment pass without devoting his activities to Krishna. Such action is in full samadhi. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect."
Whatever Krishna considers is the conclusion actually. Whatever Krishna considers, it is actually the absolute reality, the absolute truth. So, shall we discuss a bit of the survey then? So now tell me, what is the question of the survey? Shall you see if you remember?
Yeah, it was about the scarcity of food and resources all over the world. How do we think about that in that context of the scarcity? Yeah.
So the question is, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? So this World Health Organization or UN, whichever world organization put forward this survey, and they went about seeking responses, answers to this survey with the hope intention, okay, that there could be more equality in society and better utilization of resources and food and furthermore. So they started off the survey, okay, they said, let's go to the world's biggest democracy, India, long-standing civilization. Let us go there and we start from there. This survey thing, this survey question. So what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? So they came to India and asked this question to the people, to the Indians, and the same question And you know, Harsha, what the Indians replied?
What was that?
So what? So what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? When Indians were told of this, the first thing like, wait, the question is incomplete. Or Mr. World Health Organization, you have come up with a maybe a good question, but you have come up to a wrong place. Either the question is not proper or the place is not proper. So what is wrong? Well, what is your honest opinion? Let me just stop you there because nowadays Indians are not that honest. Mm, we struggle with honesty. Nah? There's lots of lying, cheating, and corruption and things and all. So, if you really want my honest opinion, then honestly, I'm saying I do not have any honest opinion. You will find in India very biased opinion. And again, I'm not kind of having a go at the whole of India or like that. And it's not like to put anyone like, okay, that there's not dishonesty in the UK or in the US. I mean, it's people at the end of the day, right? And all sorts of people everywhere. But generally, like, so this was the question: what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? And the Indian said, "Oh no, Mr. World Health Organization, the question is inappropriate for us at least here. So we won't be able to do your survey. We cannot give you an honest feedback." So and this is the honest we are telling you. We are being honest that we cannot give you an honest feedback. All right. So World Health Organization didn't get much response from India. Fine, they moved on. They moved on. So they said, now that we are Indian, let's just go to the neighboring country. Uh, they started like say India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and similar response they got in terms of honesty. Then let's move on. Okay, where do we go? China. Now that we are here, let us go to China as well. A big country, neighboring country, and powerful country. And so, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? And Chinese people, them as well, told Mr. Mr. WHO, your question doesn't fit in here. Honest is fine, but what does opinion mean? I do not understand opinion. Indians got stuck with honest. Indians were saying, what does honesty mean? What does honest mean? Chinese, they cannot comprehend opinion. They do not know the meaning, the life of opinion, no, the experience of opinion. Indians struggle the experience of honesty, living honest, generally kind of speaking, say, huh? And Chinese, they struggle with this, the life of opinion, or what does opinion mean, carrying, having an opinion. So, Mr. World Health Organization, Mr. WHO, your question is maybe valid, but it is not valid for us Chinese. We leave it here. We do not have anything to offer you. We cannot offer you. What does opinion mean? You have to first help us understand. Now, WHO said, like, how can we help them understand opinion and how can we bring about that opinion? We want something else from this survey. What is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? And you are trying me to tell me that first I educate you on opinion. So that's too big and too tough, and we are not there. So WHO didn't get much response because like the opinion thing, right? India, the honest thing, China, opinion. What does opinion mean? So WHO moved on. Opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world. And where did they go? Hmm, they possibly came to say Middle East. Harsha saying something? So they possibly came to say Middle East or Western European countries. Big countries. What? France, Germany, UK, mm, Italy, Spain also, Switzerland, Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands, Middle East, Dubai. So, and the question, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? So they suppose they came to the UK, and in the UK, say they came to Glasgow, York, and say Bristol, Brighton, London. And what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? And I suppose British people like giving an opinion. They like having an opinion, giving an opinion. Mm, So see, the message will try to get the message from the survey. And again, I'm not having a jab or go at Indians or Chinese or British or anyone, but just some. Uh, we should be able to respect cultural differences and laugh also at these cultural differences. So the British people, okay, what is your honest opinion? Yeah, we are honest. British people like honesty. See, if I'm going anywhere a bit off in any way, then let me know. Uh, so British people, I suppose, they like carrying a being honest, and they like having an opinion, carrying an opinion. So fine, yeah, we are up for it. What is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? But generally, British society or Western European society struggles with scarcity. Mm. And also, this world is a relative world, huh? We must know that it is actually a relative world. But still being relative world, generally British people or Western European society struggles with scarcity. As in, look, where is scarcity? What do you mean by scarcity? Hmm? Speaking of scarcity, whenever I hear this scarcity, na, things come about. There's this joke you might have heard before. If heard, then let me know. There's this Arab king's boy. He has been asked to write what is essay on poverty or scarcity. Or poverty. He's been asked to write an essay on poverty in school. Now this mm, all the Arab leaders and big businessmen and kings and rich Arabs possibly were in say Europe, and they've been asked to write in the UK, write an essay on poverty. What does the Arab boy write? Oh yeah, it's very tough times now. Energy crisis, Russia-Ukraine war. It's very uh, um, alarming situation, huh? And yeah, poverty is looming around us so much so, like um, uh, it's been 1 year I did not buy a new brand of BMW. I'm still carrying the old BMW. I'm still carrying the old Audi. And for last 1 year, I've not changed my iPhone for last 6 months, because of this poverty thing and all. And what to speak like my servant, caretaker, butler, my servant. It's been like about year and a half, and he hasn't gone for a holiday in Italy or yeah. So scarcity, no? Because see, I mean, uh, take soap for that matter. Now, grape soap or hand wash, na? Hand wash liquid with so many fruits, so many variety. Shampoo for that matter, so many fruits, so many variety. Everything like so much of food wastage, this wastage. So people around the world, many of them, they struggle to understand what is scarcity. So again, thing is, Mr. WHO did not get a good response. although British people being honest and British people like having an opinion, sharing an opinion, but they couldn't, when it came to scarcity, they were like stuck. What do you mean by scarcity? What is scarcity? What does it mean like to be scarce? Huh? To be short of or scarcity? What does it mean? So the survey wasn't, proper feedback wasn't obtained. Anyways, they moved on. What is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? Any guesses where did they went next? So the next they went was some places in Africa. And what is the question, Lucy Asha? What is the survey question?
What is your honest opinion about scarcity in the world
Of food in the rest of
of
the
food?
world.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And Lucy Asha, any thoughts? Now WHO went to Africa, Eastern African countries, say, and asking on this question. What is your honest opinion about scarcity of food in the rest of the world? Where do you think Indians stopped at honesty level? They said we do not understand honesty. Chinese stopped opinion level. What does opinion mean? Indians were, what does honesty mean? What is honesty? Chinese, what is opinion? Say British pure person, what is scarcity? Where do you think African, some countries or places where they went with this question, where would have they stopped? Food. What is food? They were asking. It's a harsh, painful reality of this world. It's a very, very harsh, painful reality. A mother not being able to feed her child. So, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? There are places, maybe more in Africa, in India also, and other places as well. And I mean, there's poverty in America as well, there's poverty in UK as well. So, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? And many people, what is food? Can you please tell us first what is food? We are honest. And yes, we would like to share an opinion if someone is willing to listen. If it matters, if at all it matters. You know? Many people who cares for their opinion. So yes, we would like to share an opinion if at all it matters. We are honest. And yes, we experience scarcity. We live in scarcity. But kindly, sir, please tell me, help me understand what is food. What do you mean by food? Where is food? What does it look like? What is it? So the WHO people got shaken up. One should get shaken up, right? That okay. Again, we do not find adequate responses for the appropriate responses for the survey. Indians don't understand honesty. Say Chinese for that matter don't understand opinion. British for that matter doesn't understand scarcity. And say Africans for that matter doesn't understand food. What is food? Yeah. What do you mean by food? And this is a fact. This is a fact of life. There are many people in this world who do not understand honesty. There are many, many. What do you mean by honesty? Leave spirituality for that matter, Baba. Leave spirituality at a basic human platform level. Honesty, no. People struggle, don't know what does it mean. People are sometimes so numb, so cold-hearted, do not understand others' feelings or emotions. No empathy, no sympathy. Huh? Very cold-hearted, so numb. So do not understand honesty and can use or misuse people, their emotions, just play with it, and no understanding of any honesty, trust, relationships, friendship. It's a harsh reality. Then uh, opinion. People don't have an opinion. Many people in this world. Doesn't matter what my opinion is. Harsh reality again. What is your honest opinion? No opinion. I don't know what opinion means. I'm robotic. I'm conditioned. I'm a slave. No opinion. Move on. Hmm? I don't have time to think. So, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity? Some part of the world only scarcity, and some part something abundance. Where is scarcity? What does scarcity mean? Oh yeah, it is scarcity. COVID time was a bit scarcity. I could not go for a holiday and this. Huh? And food. This is a question we'll find. People, can you show me food? It's been how many days I have not seen food. So then the survey moved around the world and finally came back where? America. And the question is what? So, any of you repeat the question?
What's your honest opinion about the scarcity of food around the world?
In the rest, in the rest of the world. And the WHO, Mr. WHO now is in America. What do you think the response would be? Where would Americans get stuck if they get stuck? Say Indians got stuck, honesty. We don't understand honesty. What do you mean by honesty? Chinese say, what do you mean by opinion? What is opinion? British say, what is scarcity? Uh, can you show me honesty? Can you show me opinion? Can you show me scarcity? What do you mean by scarcity? What is that? Where is it? Where is opinion? Where is honesty? Where is food? What do you mean by food? Can you show me food? And Americans, you know where they got stuck. What do you mean by rest of the world? Where is the rest of the world? Can you show me who is this rest of the world? Um, who is this rest of the world crying about? What problem have they got? Come on, get on with life. Who is this rest of the world? I think I am the world. Huh? Where is this rest of the world? I can see no one. When I'm so inflated by my ego, I see no one. I see only lust when I'm driven by lust. Then I don't see any emotions or anything. No, that energy, that push. When I'm driven by greed, when I'm driven by malice, I don't know how to pronounce it. Malice, right? Malice or malice, malicious desires. When I'm driven by greed, anger, then all intelligence is spoiled. विवेक है ना हर्षा विवेक ये विवेक ही काम आएगा जब मरेंगे ना शरीर छोड़ेंगे विवेक ही काम आएगा और कुछ काम नहीं आना है तो ये विवेक कोई घर बैठे बनता नहीं है ना इसको तो बनाना पड़ता है विजडम ना all wisdom wise scruples is lost when I'm lusty when I'm overtaken by lust when I'm overtaken by greed malice anger huh? Then all wisdom is lost and it is one's sanity it is one's wisdom which is going to come to the rescue at the time of leaving the body and wisdom or sanity is not something which can be purchased online or even offline. It is not something which can be purchased at Sainsbury's or Asda or even M&S, you know, online or offline. Wisdom or sanity is something which is there. It needs developing in the association of saintly people. So Americans got stuck where who is this rest of the world? I see no one. I see no one. And this is us only, Baba. This is us only. What is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? This is actually a personal question for myself. Again, you are kind, gentle souls. helping me understand Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness, and encouraging me to practice Krishna consciousness. Mm, And it's not having a dig at anyone, but if anyone feels shaken up, one should feel shaken up through the study of Bhagavad Gita. One should feel waken up also through the study of Bhagavad Gita. This is what Bhagavad Gita is for, to shake us up, to wake us up. You know? It is to bring a revolution in my consciousness, to wake me up altogether, to get me right, to get me aligned, to get me in shape proper, get me together. So, what is my honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? Where is my honesty? Growing up, I'm growing up in years, I'm growing up in height, bodily structure, and all. Am I growing up in honesty? Or while in the process of growing up, did I leave behind that kindness, that gentle, sweet smile and honesty that perhaps I used to have when I was a child, playing with some of my friends? That sweetness. Have I gone too smart in the dealings of life? Uh, Opinionated? Am I too opinionated that I do not carry for anyone's opinions, or am I too robotic? Am I too controlled, conditioned? A scarcity. Can I experience the pain one goes through in life? Can I see someone's pain? Can I feel pinch of that pain? Uh, Scarcity of food, uh, this physical hunger, lack of food, lack of shelter, lack of clothing, warmth. How much compassion does it invoke in my heart? How much does it make me a bit free myself from self obsession and the rest of the world? Am I too puffed up? So, what do you think? What is, if I have to ask this question to myself, and if I can ask this question to you, if you have a response, then please share. Otherwise, if you like the question, then meditate on it. If you don't have an immediate response, fine. If you have anything immediate to share, then please share. Otherwise, tomorrow, day after, but yeah, would be nice to. I like this question personally. What is your, or what is my honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? Any thoughts, questions, or comments? The scarcity, real scarcity the world is facing, has been facing, and will face also, is the scarcity of Bhagavad Vidya. Scarcity of God consciousness, God knowledge, Krishna consciousness, Krishna knowledge, Bhagavad Gita knowledge. That is the real scarcity the world has been facing, is facing, and will face. This is the scarcity of being loved by someone spiritually. Scarcity of being cared and by someone unconditionally, being prayed for the highest benefit. That's scarcity. Scarcity, the world is of friendship, harmony, peace, which will come about. Universal brotherhood. There are political parties with this name, Universal Brotherhood. There are charities and all, Universal Brotherhood. But for us to have that Universal Brotherhood, Universal Sisterhood, the common father has to be first of all searched out. Father can never be two, है ना? Father is never two. The father has to be common. So the common father, if I want to be in a bond of universal brotherhood, sisterhood, I need to find out the common father. uh, Only then universal brotherhood would come about, universal sisterhood will come about. So that is the scarcity of lack of Krishna consciousness, scarcity of Krishna consciousness. Lack of Krishna consciousness, lack of knowledge of Krishna, lack of love for Krishna, and lack of expressing that emotion, that love, that appraisal for Krishna, of Krishna, lack of not being able to receive the grace of Krishna in true sense. Well, Krishna giving us water, air, supply, all these things, food to eat, it is His kindness, it is His grace. But that's not the highest or the bestest grace. Even mom and dad, even though, see, it is observed, right? Partners, husband and wife, they go into a relationship knowingly, unknowingly, whatever way, and they bring forth a child, even they're not wanting to. And some kill the child in the womb itself, don't let the child come out. And some, okay, didn't want to have a child, but fine, child has come about, and look after the child, raise the child, and then they give also food and all these basic facilities to the child so the child can grow up. But what is so great in that? Krishna has given us rain, air, water, food, and all everything, which is fine. I'm not saying by saying just fine, it's not diminishing, but that's not the ultimate. Krishna wants us to take his love. Now, how much am I willing to take Krishna's love? That's the highest thing Krishna gave us, his holy name. Bhagavad Gita, temples, devotional culture, everything in devotee association. So Krishna wants us to take his love. This is the real purpose why this universe is created, so that I can quit this material world. That is the reason. But I am so enamored, so attracted. And then I go in this loop and asking myself, trying to sound like a moralist, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? And now, if this moralist button, social activist button is ticked, if it gets activated, wow. Now, yes, come on, let us set up a committee. Let us do this. Let us bring this change. Let us bring that change. Let us reform our policies. uh, Let us do some restructurization. Let us grow food like this. Let us dispatch like that and all. Then there will be not scarcity. Any means and efforts we try, we will struggle, because problem is material and we are solution is also we are aiming is material. So problem is always going to be material, solution should never be material, solution always has to be spiritual. So until and unless I apply spiritual solution, I won't be moving forward in life. This is the thing. If I want to move forward in life, I have to take spiritual guidance. I have to take spiritual guidance if I want to move forward in life. Otherwise, I may be seemingly looking to be moving forward in life, but I'm going in loops. And when I go in loops, I reach nowhere. Lucy, Harsha, you must have seen a rocking chair. What does a rocking chair mean? I think that's the name, right?
Yeah, it's just a chair that you rock forward and backwards on.
And rocking, shaking, moving forward and backward, where do you reach? Do you reach somewhere?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Still there, only stuck. Nowhere reaching. The chair is just rocking, moving forward, backward, and the chair is rocking and could be rocking, moving forward and backward, could be rocking a bit powerfully, but the person reaches nowhere. Huh? The person reaches nowhere. Likewise, this material solutions, applying material solutions, I'm just going in loop, reaching nowhere. And look, how does it come about? Oh, I'm very busy. What are you busy with? Oh, COVID policies. I'm very busy. Russia Ukraine war policies. I am very busy with this policy, that policy. Bringing a change in society, bringing a betterment in society, making people happy. Oh, it's Christmas time. I'm very busy doing some charitable work. I'm shopping and buying gifts and so much busy. Huh? Devotees go out in streets. Can I talk to you for a minute? No, no, pal. Too busy. No, no, I'm too busy, too busy, too busy. Busy with what? And where is this busyness leading us to? Huh? So, what is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? This question should hit perhaps someone hard. And this is Krishna saying, uh, uh, Bhagavad Gita, this sloka. What is your honest opinion about the scarcity of food in the rest of the world? This is something I should check about for myself. What is my honest opinion? Mm, So honesty, opinion, they would stand. है ना? We again, Krishna consciousness doesn't mean that I carry opinions. Well, my opinion is what is the conclusion of the Shastra of the scripture? That should be my opinion. Whatever Krishna says, that is the conclusion and that is my opinion. That should be my firm opinion, no? Or not even opinion, that should be my statement. That should be my conclusion. And real honesty is what? Being loyal to Krishna. That is where what honesty means. Honesty is what? Being loyal to the source of my existence. That is honesty. Now, this world, I'm trying to be again good in this world, oblivion of Krishna. Is it possible? Huh? Be good in this world, oblivion of Krishna. Living in a house, I try to be good in the house, but I'm not at all in a relationship with my parents, with the owner of the house, who's again materially, externally speaking, someone who brought me into this life, and I'm not in a relationship with them, and then being good in the house. Again, the society is a bit of broken society. So, but thing is, Krishna, he's never bad to us. Uh, So I'm trying to do good in this world, but I have no relationship or understanding of Krishna. How can I bring about a real good, a real change in this world? No. So this is why scarcity is there and it is going to be there. It is going to be there. We can never solve this world. No. It is foolishness trying to solve this world. We should try to solve ourselves only, and solution is spiritual, has to be spiritual. So if I'm in Krishna consciousness, I will never experience scarcity. When I'm in love, there is no scarcity in love. And love of Krishna is ever expanding. So there is no scarcity, there is no lack. Mercy is something which is always overflow. A sadhaka will always experience that mercy is something in excess. I never I never thought of this. So mercy is something which is always in excess. So mercy, there is no scarcity of mercy. And food, okay, that is a requirement for the body, external and all. More so than the food for the soul has to be seen. And rest of the world, again, separation. No, we do not live in this separation. This my land, your land, my language, your language. Ah, you, me. No, we all are one only. We all are Krishnas. We all belong to Krishna. So until and unless this springs about in my consciousness, am I advancing in life? Am I moving forward? Uh, am I developing? Am I growing? If I really have to bring about a change, then I have to change myself, change my consciousness, change my outlook, mm, understand myself, understand Krishna. And when I uh, purify my relationship with Krishna, only then can real change come about. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? Okay, on this note, maybe I'll give you peace and leave it here for today. We'll continue tomorrow from 3 and 3rd and 4th verses. Thank you very much again for your participation and encouragement. And we continue further tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.